Hello everyone, welcome to the Hindu newspaper analysis in 10 minutes by JTS Institute. The first article for today is Supreme Court says critical views on government are not anti-establishment. This was said in reference to lifting the telecast ban on Malayalam channel Media One. The court also mentioned that being critical is not anti-establishment. As such, the terminology betrays an expectation that the press must be in support of the establishment. The court also went on to say that an independent press is vital for the robust functioning of the democratic republic. So how is this relevant? Topics like freedom of press and freedom of speech etc. are relevant for mains and can be asked as direct questions with specific references. The next article is Indian agency gets gear from Pegasus rival. The article states that Signal Intelligence Directorate (SID) under the Ministry of Defence's Defense Intelligence Agency has procured some tech from a firm called Cognite Software, which is a rival firm to the company that created Pegasus, the famous spying software. The article goes on to say that all of this is based on a threat report by Facebook's parent company Meta on the surveillance for hire industry. How is this relevant for us? Though this article is in a complete grey area about the hype that an Indian agency may be getting encryption and spying software, I have included this because you can be asked about the effect of such an action where security takes precedence over privacy, and also about misuse of such kind of a technology where security of the state is taking precedence over privacy of a citizen. The next article is NPCI's new circular on levy charges. The National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI), which governs UPI, said that a new interchange charge would be applicable for PPI merchant transactions. Now, what is PPI? Prepaid payment instruments or PPIs are payment methods that can be used to purchase goods and services and send or receive money by using the stored value in the wallet. That means users have to preload the wallet with that particular desired amount before making the transaction. Example is any mobile wallet that you must have used, Paytm or MobiKwik and so on, where you are not using that particular amount directly from the bank. Instead, you are preloading this particular wallet from your bank and then using this wallet in order to make the payment. So for using prepaid payment instruments such as gift cards, wallets, etc. for transactions on UPI, an interchange fee of up to 1.1% has been levied from April 1st, 2023. And these charges are applicable if the transaction is more than 2000 rupees. And while discussing these levy charges on UPI transactions, it should also be mentioned that when transactions of more than rupees 2000 is being done under UPI and when NPCI says there will be a charge of 1.1%, it should be specifically noted that there is also a limit on these charges. That means irrespective of the payment amount, there is a high cap that is given to the maximum amount of transaction charges that can be levied. For example, if it is 20 rupees or 15 rupees, irrespective of the higher amount, that will be the maximum that they are going to charge. And more importantly, it should be noted that the customers are not paying this as an additional payment. Meaning, if you have to make a payment of rupees 2000, that doesn't mean that you have to pay rupees 2022 instead of 2000. Here, just like how debit cards and credit cards are working, where the transaction charges are actually charged on the merchant and not the customer. And how is this relevant to us? See, pros and cons on PPI and interoperability of this entire technology is something that can be asked by UPSC. So we have had certain questions previously asked on this, but specifically again, you will be able to use this as an example as well in terms of both using the tech and not using the tech. Let me give you an example. See, earlier when we used to have credit cards and debit cards that had newly come into the system, you had a lot of merchants that were resisting in using this because banks were charging a certain percentage. Now NPCI is charging 1.1%, but in terms of debit cards and credit cards, banks used to charge 3 to 4%, and even for online transactions these days the charges are anywhere from 4 to 7% for every 1000 rupees. The next article is close to half of the cases in High Courts pending are for over 5 years. This is a continuation article to the India Justice Report 2022 that we also discussed yesterday. See, some of the main points from today are close to half the cases in High Courts are pending for over 5 years. While in Allahabad and Calcutta High Courts, it's over 63%. Interestingly, High Courts in Northeast India, including Tripura, Sikkim and Meghalaya, had less than 10% of cases pending for over 5 years. The total cases in High Courts increased from 41 lakh in 2014 to 53 lakhs in 2022. But the number of of judges have either remained stagnant or they don't get appointed at the same rate of the increasing cases. Just yesterday we read about vacancies. The lowest High Court vacancy of judges is in Jharkhand at 16% and the highest is at Rajasthan at 48%, which is followed by Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh at over 40%. So, as we discussed, the Justice Report is an ideal document for us to use as a source for our answers about judicial reforms, etc. So do take note of any article that comes out of this. The next article is the takeaways for the UN Water Conference. We have read about the Water Conference of 2023, which was held in March 2023. And what is more fascinating is that this UN conference is the first conference on fresh water in over 50 years. And it was held over the serious issues of flooding, drought, and severe calamities of climate change and a looming food crisis. India's commitments at the conference were an investment of $240 billion in water sector and active efforts to restore groundwater level. So how is this relevant for us? See, water scarcity is a serious issue for everyone and especially for India. So in the scenario of continuously growing environmental issues, it is definitely an active topic to be asked by UPSC under environment and also its associated challenges. Moving ahead, here are some more articles that are must read for today. The first is political leaders cannot claim higher immunity, says Supreme Court. This article is based on the Supreme Court responding to a united 14 opposition parties that political leaders are just ordinary citizens of the country too and they are not entitled to any higher immunity, be it from investigation, arrest or prosecution. This response from the Supreme Court was to the joint petition claim that the central government was using agencies such as ED and the CBI to arrest and institute criminal proceedings against just opposition leaders who expressed disagreements with the current government. Second article is Maharashtra-Karnataka row over health scheme continues. Now, this is a new part to the decades-old border issue that has been happening between the states of Maharashtra and Karnataka. Recently, the benefits of Maharashtra government's flagship health insurance scheme was extended to 865 villages in Karnataka. The core issue here is that in order to avail benefits to Mahatma Jyotirao Phule Jan Arogya Yojana, they will have to meet requirements of an application form that includes a form declaring themselves as Marathi speakers. This is relevant especially for those from the states of Maharashtra and Karnataka. It has been a must question in interviews and as UPSC aspirants, you should have clear knowledge of both the sides of the arguments irrespective of where you are from. The third article is what is open source seeds movement. This article is about the issue of intellectual property rights on seeds that are present in the world today and it compares it to its non-existence in the past. This is a very relevant information for you to mention in answers related to agriculture reforms. Finally, before we conclude, there are two more articles that give unique viewpoints to their subject matters. And the first is Obstacle Against Human Policing. Second is a long view of South Asian drama. Please do read these two opinion articles as well for today. And that's it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Do like, share and subscribe to JTS Institute. Thank you.